profundity versus man's perception. Now, I looked up the definition of perception, and Webster defines perception as the ability to see, hear, or become aware of something through the senses that you have. The definition of profundity, however, deep insight, great depth of knowledge or thought, or the quality or state of being profound or deep. In other words, man can sometimes think a little shallow.
Yeah.
But God's thoughts are profound and deep.
That's right.
God does not do anything or make any move without there being some depth to the situation. We see here that Samuel has come because the preceding chapter tells us that Saul disobeyed the Lord's instructions to destroy all of the Amalekites, to death and destroy all their goods. Instead, he captured the king, claimed some of the livestock as booty, and Samuel at this point now refuses to walk with Saul any longer. And when he turns to leave, Saul caught him by his robe, tearing a piece of the fabric from him. Samuel used that as an incident, saying, hey, this is the Lord now tearing the kingdom away from you. That's in 15th chapter, verse 27 through 28. Despite their conflicts, though, Samuel still grieved over his longtime friend and king. After all, this was his first assignment, was to find the first king of Israel.
That's right.
So he went and he searched and he found this man who, as the Bible described him, stood above all other men. His stature was great. He was a big, strong man. And that was the first king that was chosen. Now, we have Samuel on a mission again. Because God is displeased with what Saul has done. Because he didn't obey his word. So Samuel now has gone to, get this, Bethlehem. We're going to come back to that later. But he's going to Bethlehem to find Jesse. Because that's who the Lord told him. He said the next king was going to come out of Jesse's house. So he came and he sat and he told him, he said, you know, this is what I'm here for. As he came in, the men of the elders of the city began trembling with fear. Are you coming peaceably? Because they knew that right now him and the king weren't really on good terms. So they had to make sure that when he came, he was coming with a peaceful mission. After all, this is the prophet of God. And the Bible tells us that we should not what? Touch thy prophet and do the prophet no harm. But he said, peaceably I come. And I've come to make a sacrifice unto the Lord. Come, consecrate, sanctify yourself with me, and let us go make an offering to the Lord. But before I do that, I need Jesse as well and his family. So he goes and gets Jesse, and he says, you know, this is what I'm really here for. God has instructed and told me that the next ruler of this kingdom is going to come from your household. Imagine how Jesse must have felt. Let's try to get into Jesse's perception. Here he is, just a common man. And he just found out that one of his sons is now going to be royalty. So here we are in this strange, peculiar place. And he says, okay, I'm going to get my sons. And naturally, he brought the biggest one first. Because after all, I did say Saul stood what? Above other men. So as soon as the prophet saw him, he perceived, he said, you know what? We ain't got to look no more. We can shut it down right here. You don't have to bring another person. This surely must be the one that God has anointed. How many times have we been in a situation where we've had something come in front of us, and because it looks so good and it whet the appetite and it looks so pleasing to the eye, we felt like, okay, this has to be the thing. And let me be a little personal with you. For those of you that don't know, I was actually